Yeah, I get right to the racks. Then I make that shit back. Run up on me, get shot in the back.
Come on.
Man, tell him wake his game up, man, before he fuck his name up. Man.
Wait, hold on. He
Turn
can't
it
hear
down a
you.
little bit.
Wait, tell it. Say it again.
Hey, you know what's crazy, right?
Wait, say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
I said, man, tell him wake his game up before he fuck his name up, man. Hey, you know what's crazy, right? I was just looking at your reaction video to the Metaview vlog, right?
Yeah.
But then again, I was showing somebody the swamp stories, right?
Yep.
And then it's crazy because y'all did a reaction video to the swamp stories I was in too. But at that time in the swamp stories, my name was Lil Stay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't even know that.
So there was a big stay. There was a stay before you.
Oh, no,
Oh,
no,
so
no, no.
Okay.
I was Lil Stay because when I went to jail, I was little.
Okay. That makes sense.
I was a kid.
But yeah,
So
definitely. I appreciate you joining us, man. I wanted to make this happen. I feel like your story is very interesting. Go check out our Metal View hood vlog, y'all. We did a hood vlog on basically Sacramento, and like G-Man was also in that vlog, and it was pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, and you have an amazing story,
Yeah.
and we want this interview's more for the young guy that sits in front of the camera. I mean, it's in front of the TV and watches this and says, has to make decisions that could affect you for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the YNs, the young niggas.
Yeah.
yeah. I got you.
For sure. So, Big Steak, can you introduce yourself to the channel? Like, where you come from? You can start there, really.
Hey man, it's your boy Big State of Prisoner's Voice, live and direct. What's up with the click? Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullahi to Allah, praise be to Allah, peace and blessings be upon the viewers that's watching this. But you know, I'm Big Stay, formerly also known as Lil Stay. I'm from Sacramento, G Parkway stores. You know, what else you guys want to know? I don't want to go too far into the
Yeah, for
backdrop.
sure. I definitely want to start off with Islam. Like, how'd you get into Islam? Were you born into Islam, or like?
No, you know, growing up, I'm like any other black household. Grew up in a Christian household.
Yeah.
Ended up going to jail young. Doing my research and studying and fell in Islam.
Okay.
All right. So you found a lot while you were incarcerated.
Well, yeah, while I was incarcerated.
That's fire.
It's good because it gave you some structure too, right? So something like
Yeah, what? Well, I've always had structure because you know during my incarceration I did a lot of reading. So, and then I was sealed up with an older guy when I first came into prison. So you know I kind of was listening, and you know that's how I got my structure. Islam just kind of brought like you know a higher power into my life.
For sure.
So, I guess my first question is we're already talking about like your once you get sentenced, right? What if you don't mind sharing? What was you convicted of?
Well, at the age of 14, I was arrested for first degree murder, PC 187, and then I was also arrested for a gun and a gun enhancement, Penal Code 12022.54. And for the first degree murder, I was given 25 years of life, and then for the gun enhancement, I was given an additional 25 years of life. So I ended up being sentenced at the age of 16 years old to 50 years of life.
Wow.
Wow. And so you were tried as an adult.
Yes, when I got charged, I was directly filed on as adult under Penal Code Section 707, Welfare Code B.
Oh wow. So as this happens, I guess it happens so fast, right? Because without giving the youth an excuse, when you're young, you kind of don't know what you're doing sometimes, man. You're just in the moment, right?
Yeah, you know when you're not thinking you in a moment. You know you're not thinking that you know a choice or action can affect the rest of your life in such a profound and huge way. So you just kind of like you know they say you hot headed. You hot headed. You just acting off your temper, and you just going 1,000 miles per hour, and you don't want to listen.
Yeah. So fast forward, we get through that. You get convicted, and now you get sent to what institution? And please let the youth know, because I think it's important we visit your experience in the jail, in the penal system. Like once you get where you landed, right? And you had the OG in the cell, and how did that go? Like your initial, because I know you must have been terrified. Like
Okay,
I know.
I'll walk you through my journey. You know, at 14, I was housed in the Kiefer juvenile detention facility. And then once I was convicted at the age of 16 years old, I was sent to the California Youth Authority, Preston, which is the youth prison for kids. So from the age 16 to 18, I was in a youth prison called Preston in Ione, California. Then on my 18th birthday, I was shipped to the adult prison system, California Department of Corrections. and I went to the dual vocation institution, which is Tracy. So I was there for about 3 months. Then, after 3 months, when you're there, a counselor comes and assesses you, and then they go over your behavior, conduct while you've been incarcerated, your education, such forth and so on. So after that, I had ended up having level 4 maximum security prison points. So after 3 months of being in Tracy, I was sent to High Desert State Prison level 4, 180 super maximum security facility, and that's when I met my older OG Sally, Hennessy from Meadowview.
Okay. And he was locked up for what?
Yeah, at that time when I had went into the cell with him, he was incarcerated at that point for 12 years.
Okay. Yeah, because there is got to be a drastic difference between the juvenile system and the adult, right? Besides it being grown ass men that are in there for a pretty
No,
much everything.
most definitely the whole correctional system is different because from in juvenile hall, I mean you kind of like on a 21-hour lockdown since you're maximum security. But then when you go to the youth authority, it's kind of like you on the streets. You roaming around all day. You basically just going everywhere. And then going from that, you go to a level 4 super maximum security level 4 180. And at this time, when I came into the system at 2010, they still had the 6-month, 9-month lockdown. So when I get there, you got the Northerners and the whites, they at war. So now we on a 9-month lockdown because one of them just got killed.
Wow.
So going from being, having a sense of some type of freedom to being, drastically locked down for long amounts of time is detrimental to the mind, especially when you
Yeah.
not used to things like that.
Yeah.
Well, there is a big push right now to eliminate solitary confinement for prisoners. I know they're trying to pass a bill to get rid of that because they say that's very bad.
Yeah, for sure. I got a question on like maybe the structure of everything in prison, right? They say all the time, even in our YouTube comments, they say that Mexicans have a better structure than the blacks. How you feel about that? Like, what's your perspective on that?
Well, yeah, at this point in, the prison system and then, prison history, the Southerners, the Northerners, they do have a better structure than the blacks. Basically, the blacks these days have really no structures.
Okay.
It's like a all-time high. It's kind of like a reflection of the streets.
Okay.
Right. So, I guess when you get there, you just pop in your sheet. You're like, yo, I'm here, and I'm gonna just get through this. You know what I mean? You gotta pop your sheets like you belong there, right?
Yeah.
And
Man,
so they have a lot of stuff there for you to do as far as like trying to get you in programs and
Yeah, like a job, right?
yeah, because you got to remember we're green to this, so we don't know anything. We might ask questions. You'll be like, well, obviously, but for
Yeah,
many
no, it's
people,
all good. It's
yeah, I mean, a
definitely
lot of people
understandable.
don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, now when you first get there, well, back when I first came to the prison system, you wasn't looking forward to no programs. It was no programs.
Wow.
It was no, like rehabilitational programs when I first got into the prison system. The only thing you was looking forward to was hoping that you came off lockdown for a week and was able to make it to the store. Because sometimes you wouldn't make it to the store for 6 months, but luckily you get a quarterly package every 3 months. So, every 3 months they'll bring a package to your door and you gotta make basically that last you for 3 months straight. Because sometimes we'll be on lockdown 6, 9 months. So you wasn't looking towards no rehabilitational programs. You was looking to survive and eat.
So lockdown is basically when like if there's a war going on or like it's just very hectic in a pod or
Well,
like
a lockdown is any time that the safety and the security of the institution is at risk. So it could be, somebody got killed or a war going on or some metal missing because somebody could make a knife with the metal. Uh, things like that to put you on lockdown for 3 months, 6 months. They coming in your cell, they tearing up all your property, they mixing it with your celly property, and they breaking your soap to make sure you ain't hiding nothing in your soap. They breaking your noodles to make sure you ain't hiding nothing in your noodles. So it's really like being in a prison system, especially on a level 4 180. It's really like psychological warfare every day. Every day you waking up in a war zone.
Because you have the situations with the COs, and then you have a lot of in-house politics.
Yeah,
Obviously.
I'm gonna give you an example with the COs. We go on lockdown, right? So you supposed to get a shower at least 3 times out the week.
yeah, I heard about that.
So mind you, when you go to the showers, they come to your door, they pop the tray slot, then they cuff you up, then they bring you out. So what the police at High Desert do is they call it the Green Wall. It's like a gang of COs. They come to your door, they got a trash can. Now everybody know when they bring that trash can, if you come out that cell, they're gonna search your cell. And you know when you at war, you always got something in your cell. So instead of you being able to get a shower, when they come to your door and you see the trash can, you refusing your shower. So you know a 23-hour and 30-minute lockdown turned into a 24/7 lockdown.
Yeah.
Right.
Was there any riots where you were locked up that you
Yeah,
were in?
plenty of riots.
Okay. And it's just race. It's usually like race war, right? Like a.
No. You might be on the basketball court. It might be a blood out there playing basketball. It might be a crip out there playing basketball. And then as soon as a blood and crip get in a fight, it's a riot because you
Oh.
can't fight nobody outside of your court. So now, even if you a blood, if I'm from Sacramento and you from LA and we get in a fight, it's a riot. So it's a very political nature.
Yeah, I thought it was just like you got the black card and then it's blacks against. Oh
No,
wow.
no. Within the blacks is broken up into fractions.
Oh, so you got like literally like
So so say like in Sacramento, right? My hood is G Parkway.
Yeah.
Uh, this other person hood might be Oak Park. I might be Stars. He might be Zilla. We in two totally different courts.
Yeah.
Like I don't assist him, he don't assist me, and we're still enemies.
Okay.
So it's very fractured. The only people that keep unity as one, and that's why they say the Mexicans have better structures, or the Southerners and the Northerners, and that's why because they don't
Yeah.
let their politics be fractionized. You know what they say? You're stronger as one. You're stronger when you got unity.
yeah. I always end a lot of conversations with that. Their strength and unity. Actually,
Yeah.
I say that a lot. My question to you is: so you uh you were northerner, or you landed under Bloods or Crips, or what
No,
made you?
no, 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 no. I would never run with the Northerners or the
Yeah,
Southerners. I ain't got nothing against them, but you know I'm a
yeah,
proud black man in
yeah.
America. But I
Oh,
ran with
you
the
were just
black.
you went with the black.
I
Okay,
ran.
okay,
I ran with the blacks. My card is Sacramento within my Sacramento card.
okay.
My card within that card is the stars. So anybody that's like immediately my homie that's within that card from the stars, or you know, that's who I run with.
Yeah,
So
cause
it's very city wise and section wise.
yeah, for sure. Cause Sacramento's more neighborhoods, right? I know in LA you could
Well,
have.
in Sacramento, it's more clicks now, so
Yeah.
everything go off the clicks.
It's pretty dope to talk to you because you're giving us the actual real because we watch a lot. We do a lot of reactions to YouTubes and I mean people videos and people. Not that they're capping, but they just don't really know what they're talking about. And I know you probably look at videos all the time. Like that's so wrong what they're talking about.
Yeah. I was showing somebody the swamp stories, and I'm telling them when y'all doing a reaction, I'm like, man, this vlog right here is just wrong. They just they got the storyline right, but the way they put it out there, they be kind of messy with it.
Yeah, people in the comments correct them a lot of the time, but that's why I would ask you something like, "Oh, you with Norteños, Sureños, or Blood Crip?" Because we don't know. So,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
So,
You know the details of it.
what would be the scenario of somebody like me, right? I'm from New York. I end up in the system there. What do I do? I'm Dominican.
Well, well, when
I'm
you go
Dominican,
there,
so I'm a little bit of
you would
everything.
be you would be a non-affiliate.
Yeah, that don't sound good.
Yeah.
Just based on you, just based on you from New York and you from the East Coast, like ain't nobody really gonna pay your mind. I know a lot of people be trying to make it like when you come out to California, we be preying on people from other states, but people don't really be messing with you, especially on the 180. It's all about respect. So as long as you go in there, you hold your head high, man. You look, I'm from New York. I'm non-affiliated. I'm not a blood. I'm not a crib. I'm not from California. I'm over here with the people that's non-affiliated, and I'm just here to do my time and go home, or do my time and move on with my journey. Everything gonna be good.
All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna move on from that a little bit.
I was gonna
You have
ask,
one
how many
question?
days have you been home?
I'm not quite sure exactly, right? But I know on September 6th it'll be 90 days.
Wow.
Oh wow. Oh, so you really like fresh out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fresh out. When y'all did the reaction on the MetaView blog, I was only out for like 50 some days. I didn't even know that was a vlog.
Yeah.
So what?
Uh huh.
What was your first day like? Coming home, like what was that feeling? Like it was surreal. Like
Well, my first day was crazy, right? Because I get out, boom. I don't know if y'all seen a video on my Instagram when I'm getting out the prison van. But
No, I
then
didn't see.
I accidentally go live on RIG for like 2 minutes.
yeah.
I end up somehow breaking the internet. My grandma, I'm telling her, I'm like, Grandma, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. She don't even know I'm getting out of prison.
Oh wow, wow.
So I get out of prison. It's like a 10-hour drive back. My brother and them, they hyped up. Everybody hyped up. As soon as everybody find out or hear that I'm out, the phone is blowing up the whole
Yep.
10 hours. I'm getting irritated. As soon as I get home, my brother called my grandma. He said, come out, and then I got that gift for you. And when I came and I walked up, and she just stopped and paused, she was like, oh my God.
Oh, that's
It
gotta be
was
the best
crazy.
feeling,
It was
right?
like it was surreal. It was just surreal.
What was your first meal?
My brother forced me to eat some Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Cause when you fresh out of prison, man, you're not really worried about no food. You just moving off adrenaline. You just like, damn, I'm out. I'm really out. Like, damn, is this real? You taking in everything. You kind of vibing. You adjusting your mentals to be back on the streets.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's
So
crazy because you're a youth when you went in, and you come out a grown ass man with many questions, and things are probably so different from when you went in, right?
Oh yeah. Can we talk about that?
yeah. Nah, I go in at the age of 14. I ended up doing 17 years, 6 months. I ended up being resentenced under AB 600, 1172.1, which gave the judge the power to resentence me just based on that she felt that the sentence they gave me at 16 years old, 50 years of life, the way they treat juveniles in California now, if you was 14 or 15, you only get 10 years. So she felt I deserved a second chance.
Awesome. I know you felt amazing when she said that.
Man, what she said that, and then she said no probation, no parole. I'm a free man.
Oh.
What? I
Oh,
said,
we
oh
wanted to
yeah.
ask you that too.
So
Yeah.
you had a clean run, so you didn't really have that many troubles inside. I mean, obviously
No,
you
no, no,
con.
no, no. It
Oh,
doesn't go off of that, right?
oh, it doesn't
When
go
I
off of
got
that. Oh, okay, okay.
when I got resentenced, they reduced my first degree murder to a voluntary manslaughter. And when I took that manslaughter, I was resentenced to 11 years. Now, normally you would have to do parole or probation. But since I took 11 years and I did 17 years and 6 months, that extra 6 years and 6 months that I did went towards my parole and probation.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
don't want to be too federal, but was the case with other people or was it only you?
No, I have no co-defendants.
Okay.
The only thing I have in my cases is witnesses.
Okay.
Okay. So, because I want to kind of stay on track here,
Yeah, I know.
because we could probably talk to you for 4 hours.
And we're, I got a mad question.
We're gonna try to keep this tight. So, you land there, you in there with the OG Hennessy, uh, you kind of get settled. How long are you there, and where do you go to from there? And then
Okay.
how long are you into your prison? Uh,
Sentencing, I guess?
yeah,
Yeah,
so,
right.
Prison term.
Yeah,
Well, when I
term.
get to prison, I'm let me see. I was arrested in January 2007. I get to prison February 22nd, 2010 on my 18th birthday. So what's that, about like 3 years?
Yep.
yeah, that shit is not like you telling it, man. And I'm like, this is not even fair to you, man. Like being a kid, like you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, as soon as I got to
So
the youth authority, that's the first thing the gang counselors and them said to me. They said, man, they gave you all this time for your crime. I said, yeah. They said, man, that's wrong, man. They should have gave you juvenile life. You should have been here till you was 24, 25. But yeah, I'm in hard desert. I'm there for about 3 months. 3 months, I got my first altercation. Me and a couple of my friends had to go discipline or remove somebody off the yard. So I ended up doing about 5 years at hard desert. With them, I think after 3 years of being there, Sacramento ended up coming with a new law where they couldn't hold us on lockdowns no longer than 14 days.
Okay.
So around 2014 is when the whole criminal justice system started reforming.
yeah,
So then they came with Senate Bill 260, which they started recognizing that a juvenile at the age of 14 to 17, minds aren't fully developed till they 25 because it takes 10 years. So now we had the option to be paroled after doing 25 years of life. So
wow.
then one day the counselor had came to see me. This is probably November 2014. So from February to November of 2014, I was in Hard Desert State Prison Level 4, 180, super maximum security. So November, the counselor comes see me 2014. He say, hey, man, I got some good news. I got some bad news. So I'm like, all right. He like, look, man, you know, it's hard to get out of Hard Desert. He said, but I know you want to leave here. You hate it here. You know, all the police is racist. They don't like black people. They kind of like the Klan. So I'm like, yeah. He said, the only thing is, man, you got to go all the way to Southern California because they opening up a new yard. And dudes like you that been here 4 years, 5 years, we trying to get you out of the high desert and send you to a level 4, 270 maximum security prison.
Mm.
So I ended up being shipped to Centinela State Prison, level 4, 270. And when I get there, the politics is all over the place. They bring in different buses from 180s, Pelican Bay, Hard Desert, New Corcoran, New Folsom. We all come to this 1 yard because we went to 270. Now the difference between a 180 and a 270 is a 180 you basically have no movement. You always on lockdown. A 270, you're probably doing like 21 hours out the day in the cell. You probably get like a good 3 hours, and you walk to be fed. On the 180, they bring the food to your door. So the perks of going to the 270 is you get to walk the line and go to breakfast or dinner.
Which you wanted. That's why you moved.
And which, you know, in prison, you're trying to get the maximum movement as possible because the more movements you got, the more access you got. So I'm there. They end up giving me a job as a sewing machine operator. At this time, you know, I'm still immature. I don't want to work. I'm cussing out the supervisor.
Right.
I'm just making any excuse to not to do work. So then my boy pull up, and we sell these probably for about a month. Some of our enemies end up coming to the yard. Long story short, I end up getting into one of my enemies. My friend ended up jumping in, and then you know, the police come. The dude runs to the police. We chasing him in his boxers. He ended up going to the hole because he don't want to sign a chrono and come back. So he basically did a PC move.
Right.
So then we go back. They got us on CTQ, which means confined to quarters for about 72 hours, 3 days. As soon as we come off, I go to work. I come out of work. We get into it with some of his homeboys because they trying to retaliate. So now we all go to the hole. So when I come out the hole, this when everything changed. They end up moving me to a cell with an OG, another OG. But this OG had been down 36 years. So when I go in there, you know, he asked me questions like what happened on the yard and stuff like that. He's like, all right, you done? You know, you done gang banging? You know, he's like, man, you need to take some self-help groups, get you a girl and settle down. So I ended up taking his advice. So, you know, that's when things started to change for me. And I started getting visits from females. That kind of loosened me up, gave me a little bit of dose of reality. And long story short, man, I ended up doing probably like 9 years, 10 years on a level 4, 270, maximum security. Then I ended up going to a level 3 for about a month and a half. That's when I filed, right before I left the level 4, that's when I filed the People versus Heard 1170D. Juveniles that got the functional equivalent to life without parole can be resentenced if they meet certain criteria. So one of the criteria was you had to be 17 and under. And then another one is you had to have either a dope co-defendant, which I didn't have, or this had to be your first time ever being arrested as a juvenile to a felony, which I fit that. Right. This was my first time as a juvenile having a felony. So now I was 17 and under, and I fit that bill. I mean, I fit that the other criteria. You know, this is my first felony as a juvenile. So when I did that, I called an attorney. I'm like, hey, man, it's this new law came out. I'm like, man, I need you to file it for me. So he telling me, oh, man, you can't do that. You can't do this.
Oh, you ain't trying to hear that, man.
No, I ain't trying to hear. I've been filing stuff since I've been incarcerated. So I file it. I don't get no response. And then, because I end up coming up on the paperwork in the kitchen. Oh, wow. Because I worked in the kitchen. So I don't get no response. And then one day I'm sitting on my bunk and some public defenders called all the juveniles out there 17 and under. And they give me the same package that I just filed. But they, you know, they just informing us about it. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna do it again. But I go to the cell and I just throw it on the shelf. And I call the attorney. I'm like, hey man, I just had some public defenders come see me, man. They said I can file it. He like, man, you can't file it. So one day we go on lockdown. The other end up killing the black. So we end up going on lockdown. So I'm in the cell board. At this time, I've been single cell for 9 months. So I'm in the cell board. I'm like, all right, I fill out the paper. Boom, I send it in. One day I'm on my bunk. I'm kicking back they call it legal mail. The legal mail come to my door. Bam, I get a case assignment, judgment order from the judge. Saying basically that the DA has 60 days. Yeah, good news. Because now it's like this attorney is telling me I can't do it, but now that I did it and it went through, I'm like, man, it couldn't be no better than that. So I ended up getting the judgment order and all that. So I called the same attorney back. I'm like, hey, man. And before I could say it, he tried to cut me off. I'm like, man, just listen. And as soon as I told him what happened, he like, oh, man, let me sent a judge an order to be your attorney. I said, oh, now you want to be my attorney?
Wow.
You did all the work for him.
So I did all the work for him. But then it's crazy, right? Because 8 months in, because I filed that July of 2023. So April, I think it's April 4th, 2024, they come back and the judge issue an order. So she denied it. So I called my attorney. I'm like, man, the judge. I'm like, they saying the judge denied it, but you got to fill out some more. Or you got to file some more paperwork. He like, yeah, they just emailed me it. I ain't seen it. I gotta wait till I see it. And then at that same moment, they calling me for legal mail.
Wow.
So when I get the legal mail, I'm reading the order. I'm like, oh, they denied it. I'm like, but she said just based on the new powers that she got, that the laws that went into effect in 2024, Assembly Bill 611/72.1. Even though she don't feel like I fit the people versus her, she gonna recall it on her own motion.
What
So he like,
administration?
oh,
What administration them laws changed under? Was that Obama that started that, or was that
no,
Trump?
no, no. You got to understand something about politics, right? What the presidents do don't affect the state levels. The states
Yeah, it's
create their
federal.
own laws. So the people that decide laws for me is like Governor Gavin Newsom, or what the mayor's vote, the council members vote, the assembly members, the legislative members in California. That's who controls the California Department of Correction.
For the state, yeah.
That's why I tell people all the time, like they be like, "Who you voting for president? You voting for this?" I'm like, I don't really, pay attention to the presidents like that, because what affects you is, your local level. Like if you want to change things, you got to change it through the state. You can't. The president has no control over that. They have a federal mandate. That's like how weed is legalized in California, but under a federal mandate, it's still banned as a controlled substance.
Try, or you ever thought about escaping, or had an opportunity to escape, or you seen an opportunity but you didn't take it? I know it's a little bit of a crazy question, but you was facing a lot
Nah,
of fucking time, bro. So I'm trying to bounce.
it's
So
not.
in my head, I'm like, yo, I gotta get out of here, man.
No, it's not a crazy question, because shit, I thought about escaping every day.
Word. I'm
But
thinking like, yo,
the way
50?
the way the California Department of Corrections is set up is probably nearly impossible, especially when you're on a maximum security.
Oh, maps.
Like it's electrical fencing around it. There's mini 14s every day that watch you, guards with mini 14s out the towers, and you're monitored every day.
How long are the work days? Like you work 40 hours a week when you're in prison? Like doing the show?
Well, it all depends on your job. If you work for the PIA, the Prison Industrial Complex, you work about 8 hours out the week, and you make the highest you can make is $1 an hour. You start off at 35 cents. But right before I paroled, I had worked in the kitchen,
Okay.
and I was in the kitchen for 2 years, and I was working for free.
Wow.
Under California, well, not under California, but under the 13th Amendment, slavery is still prohibited as long as you're incarcerated, so you can work for free.
Well, that's why they created the overseers, and if you want to go back to history, if we want to go down that road, that's why they start locking us when they freed the slaves. They start locking people for congregating because they needed that labor. They start locking people up, especially black men.
Exactly. And if you want to keep up on it, through the modern day, all you got to watch is the documentary 13th by Ava DuVernay, or read the book The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexandra.
What's your favorite book that you would suggest people reading?
I got two books that inspired me to write my autobiography on Amazon. And one of them would be George Jackson, Soledad Brothers, and then the second one would be Stanley Tookie Williams, Blue Rage, Black Redemption.
Okay. Yeah. Well, your autobiography's out now?
My autobiography's been out since 2021. While incarcerated, right? I made 3 documentaries that's on YouTube.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Called Louis State of Struggle, Young Black Men in America. Then I have Louis State, Beautiful Elevation. And then I have Jamel Stevens Brothers Incarcerated. And then I have my book on Amazon, Louis State of Transition. I have music videos. I've done, multiple podcasts with 16 to Life. I just recently did one with No Jumper. Oh, not to get back off topic though, right? But yeah, I have filed the petition.
I was gonna tell you, let's get back to that.
It ended up getting denied, but the judge said just based on my sentence and how old I was, she was gonna recall it. So my attorney, basically, she want to do a deal. They don't want to re-sentence you under that, because they know they re-sentence you under that, with all the new laws it's going to trigger, you're going to be sentenced as a juvenile, and it's like the crime never happened. So they want you to plead out to a deal, waive your rights to appeal what she denied, waive your rights to go back to juvenile court, give you a strike, but I'm pushing for no parole probation since you got over the time, and it's a win for everybody. You get out, and they still get a record. So my attorney, that happened April 4th. My attorney reached out to the DA April 16th, asking would he be willing to make the deal to reduce my charge from murder to manslaughter. The DA 2 weeks later said they'd think about it. And then, now in prison, you got tablets.
Yep.
So one day I get on my tablet. Matter of fact, it's May 16th, exactly a month later. My attorney out of nowhere sent me a message.
Them tablets give you a long arm because now you can reach out and do a lot of things with it, right?
Yeah. With them tablets, you get free calls. You get 20 free messages a week. You get basically free access at calling people. You don't get no internet or nothing like that.
You reached out to your attorney and shit?
No, so he reached out to me one day after he reached out to the DA. It was actually 30 days later. It was May 16th. The DA told him he'd do the deal. So when I get on my tablet, I see I got a message from him, but I don't check it till later on that night. So I call him that morning. He like, man, I got some good news. This is May 17th. So I'm like, all right, cool. So when I call him the next day, May 17th, he tell me they willing to do the deal. So I'm waiting. I'm like, how long is it going to take? He like, I'll take about a couple weeks. You're going to be home. So one day I'm on the yard. I'm hollering at my boy, King Sag from Long Beach. Like, man, my attorney taking hella long, man. He supposed to be and had me at court, man. I'm supposed to be up out of here. He like, man, you better call him. Tell him they got a celebrity in prison. And you need to be out by the month. So
you made that call.
Hey, he didn't pump me up, so I didn't went and called. He like, hey, man, you got court tomorrow. I'm like, damn, all right.
Wow.
So I go to court tomorrow. I go in there. I'm scheduled at 1:30, but I go through a Zoom call because he like, man, it's best you do it through Zoom and not go back in person because anywhere it go, you got to be released from prison. CDC has to release you. So he like, if you go back, they're going to play games and ship you back, and you're going to wait an extra month. So I go through Zoom. I'm like, man, I'm not taking the deal. He like, man, you taking the deal. The DA asked for an extension of time. I told him no. I go in there. They said, man, we're going to reschedule it. I said, oh, man, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So I get back to the cell. Now I'm unsure. I'm like, man, so what's going on? I'm still taking the deal because the judge put it off for like 3 days to June 3rd. So he like, oh man, as far as I know, man, you still taking your deal on June 3rd. He like, but if she start playing games, man, I'm gonna just tell her we're gonna take it all the way, and we ain't doing the deal no more. I'm like, man, how long that's gonna take? He like, oh man, probably like another. He like, man, that's probably like another 9 months a year. I'm like, another 9 months a year. I'm like, man, you know how much can happen in prison?
That's what I'm saying.
Like it was just like down there 8 people that died this year. So, the judge tells us to come back. I go in there June 3rd. My court is at 1:30. So I'm in there. I'm sitting for like an hour. It's like 2:20. Now I'm sweating. I'm like, damn, they didn't took the deal back. We about to have to go all the way. And as soon as they pop up on Zoom, the judge say her name. Everybody greets themselves. The DA there. The DA looking mad. And she like, I'm sorry to say, but I had to recall Mr. Stevens' sentence. After that, I just bit my tongue because I didn't want to smile.
Right.
So I just bit my tongue, but in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, it's over. It's over. The whole time, that's all I'm thinking. Yeah. And then the DA like to play games. So right when she said that, my victim family walked in. The first court date, my victim family wasn't there. So the DA thought that the victim family was gonna change my judge's mind. So going there, the victim family, say, oh, he got 50 years of life. I don't feel that's enough time. He deserved life. They shouldn't let him out. He's in there making documentaries, writing books. Long story short, so after that, the judge was like, I empathize with y'all. I'm sorry for your loss, but I had to release Mr. Stevens. Hopefully he can use his influence, to go out there and guide the youth in a positive way. Mr. Stevens, do you have anything to say? So, I took 2 minutes to express my remorse and things of that nature. And I'm asking my attorney, I'm like, how long is it going to take him to release me? He like, 10 to 14 days. 3 days later, they come, Mr. Stevens, you going home tomorrow, June 6th. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm calling. Cold part about it, though, I'm calling everybody. I'm juiced up, I'm calling, ain't nobody answering.
Oh, man.
I'm like, man. So
Yeah.
I had my boy text my mama. I'm like, tell her it's important. So as soon as I call her, she like, boy, when you coming home? I'm like, should I come home tomorrow?
She knew it too.
And
She knew it.
yeah, yeah, she couldn't believe it. What?
Yeah, yeah. So you get out, and we visited your first day. So how's your transition been
Since then, right?
back into the public, back into society, like in the sense of what's your routine? Like, how does it work? You apply for jobs, or you just marinating? Are you gonna do some traveling? Like what's going on? Like, because you and I had a conversation prior to this, and I know that you feel like you gotta help all these kids. I know, like you almost feel like you gotta feel like a pressure, right, to help
Nah,
these
I don't
kids.
feel no pressure, man. I don't feel no pressure. I feel like it's an obligation, man. And I was blessed
Okay,
by a
okay.
lot to be able to have this chance to do it, man. So like I say, I really got a passion for it, right? So it's never a burden. But you know, it do be a lot of people, you know, since I've been out trying to get their opinions on what I should do. Oh, you should get a job, you should do this. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. My first at least 60, 90 days, I'm just meditating, marinating. You know, I've been doing a lot of little stuff though, working different little interviews and things like that, community work, working with the youth, going to college, uh, motivational speeches and things of that nature, music. I'm working on the fourth documentary, finally free. About to start a podcast. Eventually, I'm gonna write part two to my book. Uh,
Okay.
so I'm adjusting well. Things is going well. I actually just got 2 job offers, and I think I'm gonna take them because it's something I don't mind doing. I'm not doing a job that I don't like doing, that I have no passion for, because that's like being in prison all over again. You know, when you out here and you got opportunity, you got choices. Like I say, since I've been out, man, I done really did way more stuff, like accomplished more things than dudes that had been out here the whole time I've been in prison.
I see that a lot actually. I know someone who did 17 years, came home, had 2 jobs. Then now he's like a business owner. He's got a couple rental properties, and there's dudes still standing on the block that we all grew up with that done nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Because that, you know, one thing, you know, you realize after doing all that time, man, when you come out here as dudes, is actually, well, not even dudes, people is playing. Like people take life as a game, like they don't take it serious, and they be wasting time. And
Real shit.
you know, I'm on like a different time zone, man. After you done came back from a near death experience, and you done been amongst the dead with people that ain't never coming home, people that got life without parole, or you know, and then you come out. Like I say, the first day I went out, man, I dropped a video hugging my grandma. Uh, I was working from prison already. It instantly went viral. You know, I think it's on my Instagram. It said like 150,000. One of them is like 60,000. But I be getting a gang of messages from people all over the United States, people in UK, you know, the England. I done gave a lot of people hope because they know how it is once you sentence to life in prison and then you come out. But not only do you come out, but you come out as strong, and you know you've been accomplishing stuff. So you know that also be feeding me and motivating me, man. You know, just inspiring others and them actually telling me how much I inspire them.
How was it growing up with CML? You know, he's one of the most famous guys from that neighborhood.
CML, man, that's my boy, man. You know, he gave me some shout outs and songs and things of that nature. I talk to him from time to time.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But you
I
know,
Go ahead, go ahead. I'm sorry.
but you know me, man, I'm out here, you know, doing my own thing, man.
for
Hey
sure.
man, say man, your boy Big Stay, trying to change the community in a positive way, in a positive direction. And, you know, I wouldn't call myself a role model or nothing like that. I'm a choice coach. I give people the choice. You can go this way, and this is gonna happen, or I can tell you about it through this experience, or you can watch my documentaries and see what we had to do while I was in prison, and that could be your life. So, which one you want to choose? Because this is real life.
Yeah, and it's pretty frustrating because sometimes you talk to the youth and they hear you, but they don't listen.
Well,
So
see, the thing
that's
about that is, right?
pretty
I remember when I
frustrating.
got to prison. I remember when I got to prison, and my OG said he used to always be on me. And as a youth, you know, I act like I ain't listening, but it's like putting plants in the dirt. Eventually, something gonna sprout.
Mm. Yeah, so
For
you gotta
sure.
plant
So
the
even though you
seeds.
might think, you know, the youth ain't listening, you know, you never know when you might say one thing and that might carry on. Because I was talking to somebody the other day, and I told them something, and to me it wasn't really nothing, but like 2 days later, they was telling me like, man, you changed my whole way of thinking. So you never know, you know, when you might say one thing that might influence them to change their life.
Yeah, and that gives you intrinsic value. Like, then that's essentially when you do something and it just makes the world better, and it's rewarding to you, like inside into your soul, because you're helping people. Because
Exactly. I was telling somebody today, man, the best thing I think a person could do with their life is touch others.
it's so imperative. And we have in our community, when we do make money or something, we tend to leave and get away from everything, you know what I'm saying, and don't give back, because we're like, yo, I gotta get out the hood, you know. And I think that's one of our issues in our communities all throughout the country, is like people just want to get out the hood, and when they get a little bit of money, whatever, they're gone.
Well, see, it's two things about that, right? Because the one thing about the hood is, right, when you get all this money, it brings a lot of negativity because people should have felt that was them. People should have felt that they should have been in that position. People might feel like you're not doing enough for them. You know, it's a lot of negativity. So a lot of people that get money that do stay in the hood look at Young Dolph. You know what I'm saying? Or, look at different examples of people that got money that stayed in the hood.
Yeah.
But then another thing is, like Drake said on the song, I love when money make a difference, but don't make you different. A lot of people get money and change too, so it's a double-edged sword.
Yep.
It's a balance, and the dynamics of the personality is important too. Because you're right, somebody
Because
could get money and become a complete asshole.
exactly,
We put certain people on like the status, and
a
Pedestal.
we put
pedestal.
them on pedestals, and we look up to them. And a lot of times, those people, that energy gasses them up, and they have yes men around them, yes men, yes men, and then that's why you see their demise. Sometimes you be like, yo, like how did you end up? How did you have 10 million and now you got nothing?
Exactly.
Wow.
But
So
nah, that's how it is, though, man. So it's like, danged if you do, danged if you don't. But I think the best person, man, once you get some money, the best thing you can do is change your community. Because for me, I think probably within the next 5 years, 10 years, I'm gonna run for mayor.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna
okay,
ask you that. Like, what's your next steps in the future? Like,
Yeah, well, right now I'm about to do the filming stuff, documentaries, movies, short films, podcasting, interviews, things of that nature. Just keep really doing what I've been doing, but at a higher level, at a higher pace.
yeah, you have an amazing story,
Because
so you're gonna definitely pick up a lot of traction.
yeah, so that's really the game plan, man. I done had shit damn near 20 years to think it through every day.
Yeah.
People like, man, you ain't writing nothing down. What I need to write it down for? I've been thinking about it for the last 17 years and 6 months. This shit's like etched in my brain. Yeah, so it's like shit. It's only up from here. I'd already been to the worst.
you wanna drop your at maybe on all platforms? Like, do you have the same at? Like,
No, no, no. On Instagram, you can find me at big_stay_.
okay.
On TikTok, you can find me at the Prisoner's Voice. On YouTube, you can find me at the Prisoner's Voice. And hey, man, say, man, that's your boy Big Stay, man, the Prisoner's Voice, live and
Yes,
direct. What's
sir.
up with the click? All praise be to Allah.
We definitely want to do something in the future. Maybe if we end up in Cali, I definitely want
I
to do
could
like a
do. Yeah.
documentary.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We can do a documentary. I got some college kids want to do a documentary on me too. We could do a documentary or something.
That'd be fire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Any
'Cause it's a lot in the story that I didn't explain that I went through while in
Yeah.
prison.
I try to be respectful because I don't want to ask crazy
Me
questions. You know
too.
what I mean?
I mean, I know how to answer questions, man. So anytime I do an interview with people, I tell them, man, ain't nothing off limits.
Yeah,
I
because
don't rehearse. I don't go over. Nothing's off limits.
my thing
The
is like,
truth will set you free.
what's the craziest? Well, I had a bunch of questions. Like, how many people you seen die? Not seen or like just died within the system that you was in? Because me and him,
Uh,
I always tell him that it is almost like prisoners have a less their life is less valued because people die in jail. You don't hear about that shit.
nah. They try to keep stuff like that off the news so they don't get no lawsuits, things of that nature. So they always try to keep things like that wrapped. But shit, after being in prison for so long, you see it just like every other day, maybe once a week, or it's always gonna happen. That's just prison. Prison is just you wake up, you at war every day. Somebody might have got something they wasn't supposed to get from another race. Maybe some contraband or something, and he didn't pay that, and a couple days later it's bad for him. Or, it's just the smallest things, disrespecting another race, or, things of that nature could cost your life. So you see it. So,
There's no interaction though with like let's
Other
say
races.
with other races, or it's just minimal. Like y'all playing
well,
ball against each other, or is they on
when
one
I first, when
side?
I, the first probably 11 years in prison, everything was to a minimum. Now, you can play different sports with other races, but it's still a respect boundary.
I
Like, you're
bet.
not about to be playing sports and talking to another race crazy or nothing like that. It's still going to be a respect boundary.
Yeah, it's got to be that tension sometimes too. And you
Because
always
if you
got
play,
knuckleheads. What about if you got a knucklehead? Like, how do you keep a knucklehead? Because every crew,
That's one.
every group has a knucklehead that just is always on like on 100.
On go.
well, see, in prison, it's like this, man. They're going to lay down the rules. Now, once you got these rules, if you violate, you will no longer be there.
Mm.
So it's that simple. If you're a knucklehead and you don't want to listen, you won't be there. It's nothing bigger than the program.
Oh, that's simple.
Yeah, it's just like that, straight up, straight down.
Yeah, and the COs are corrupted, right? They're the ones bringing in most of these
Man,
people.
the CEOs is just regular people. It's no different. Money corrupts everybody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because we hear stories all the time, like
Look, look,
COs.
look, look, look at Donald Trump. He just lost 2 trials.
Mm.
Yeah.
So the CEOs, they're not exempt either.
I forgot I was gonna ask.
Life is crazy.
No, life is crazy. And did you find it that it went fast? Like, did you find that every now that you're out, did you find that things kind of went fast, or was
Yeah,
it, or
it's like
or like a dream
yeah,
or a fucking nightmare? You're like, yo, I went through this, and like,
it's
because
like a movie.
I know you wake up and you be like, oh shit, I'm in my
Uh-uh.
house, man. I'm with
Hell
my
no. Nah.
mom, man.
I wake up and be like it's time to go.
Oh,
Okay,
I
okay.
like that.
Time to go.
You
Every
got
every day is precious. Every day count. Every day I wake up, if I really care about you, I'm gonna send you a morning message every morning.
yeah, you're not getting
So
lazy.
every day,
You're not getting lazy yet. You still working out and doing because I know.
man. Look, I'm still on prison program. I told somebody the other day I did it for 20 years. It's not gonna break. I don't want to break it.
Yeah.
My best friend's brother was in jail. He got so swole, like so strong, like he caught a hernia. The doctor was like, "Yo, you can't lift no more weights."
Wow.
Yeah,
That's how brolic he got in jail from like just working out. Insane,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Nah, you gotta keep that same work ethic though, man. You gotta work out, man. You gotta stay ambitious. You gotta treat every day like it's your last, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's cool. I find it interesting that you were fortunate enough to go like be able to get out of that horrible situation where you were
50 years of
facing life, and now your story, like we got to get it to as many people as possible. Like,
Exactly, because it can help
especially
change a lot of lives.
yeah, especially the young youth. Like, what's the biggest thing in our community that we can do? Because I think it's so dangerous. Like between 12 and 16 is like those are your formidable years, man. And growing up in every hood in the United States and overseas in bad neighborhoods, like you lose your childhood, man. Like you gotta grow up so fast. You gotta make decisions. Like your head's on a swivel. You're joining gangs. You're committing crimes because it's normal, bro. It's like normal shit to shoplift or. And people be like, "Well, you have an opportunity to study, but it's almost like we come. Sometimes we
Well,
come from broken homes too."
it's not that it's normal, right? It's that it's survival mode. If you're a kid and you hungry and your parent at home or your parent at work, and you come from a single parent household and you want something right now and it ain't in your refrigerator, what you gonna go do to get it? You gonna go steal.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the system makes it that way. If you look at, how where they put the ghettos at, what they got in the ghettos, the liquor stores and stuff like that, it's like, all this stuff is to intensify the violence. Like this is what they want to happen: the gang violence and things of that nature, the dope, the drugs, the guns. Like I say, I think like every couple years, the police have to renew their weapons, so they get rid of the old weapons and get new weapons. But it was a report, I believe, somewhere in the Sacramento Bee to say all them weapons that they throw out end up back into the community.
Mm. I believe it.
Wow.
I believe it. Just like you said, every hood got a church,
So
a
it's
fried
like it's
chicken
messed.
spot, and a liquor store.
Yeah, but it's messed up though because it's like they treat us this way and they send us to these harsh laws, but at the same time they're making the environment, they're funding the music. Millions of dollars for dudes like Julio Fulio that's making diss songs about people dead homies. And what's that gonna do? The record labels is giving them all this money and putting life insurance policies on the rappers.
Yep.
So it's like they're
And you're right. You're
actually
right.
creating this environment. So it's kind of hard, but like I say, man, out here right now, I think what the culture and the community need, man, is dudes like me that's still in the lifestyle, that's to use our influence, to break the trends. Because right now we in the age of trending. Don't nobody want to speak up, so we need dudes to start speaking up and using their voice, to change things. Because words is powerful. So I think that's what's needed at this time is people to step up and step to the plate.
Yeah, and you definitely have the credibility, right? So no one could really question you because you've
Nah,
been
most
there.
definitely.
You've been there.
Nah, most definitely.
You've seen the end. You've seen the out. You've seen the good, the bad, the okay. You've seen the worst of it. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
stuff that happened in jail that you won't even share with anybody because you'll be like, "Yo, this is crazy what I seen." You know?
No, that's just facts. Certain things you just don't expose.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So you start getting like girlfriends and stuff like that. Is it conjugal visits or do you have to be married for that?
Well, I did end up getting married during the course of my incarceration, so I did end up getting conjugal visits and stuff like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What is that for the people that don't know? I don't know. What that-
Conjugal visits
Yeah.
is you get that?
Conjugal visits is
You got a
family
life.
visits. It's basically it's
Oh,
sex
shit.
visits.
Oh
You
shit.
got a
That's
wife.
real?
So
It's a
they
wife. Yeah, yeah.
basically take you to like a little 2-bedroom apartment complex, and you basically within a gate, but you free within there. So like say you be on the yard and you got a celly, so you always got to keep your clothes on. When you go to them conjugal visits, man, you can walk around naked with your woman.
So for how long? Like a weekend thing? Weekend getaway?
That's 43 hours, like a day and a half, 2 days.
Hey, that's not bad at
That's
all.
not bad. What the fuck?
That's time for a lot
And
of action, right?
you get to order foods you wouldn't regularly order, like steak and shrimp and stuff like
What?
that.
Oh, so everybody was married up in that camp, huh?
Well, see, that's the thing, man. You gotta be able to have the means, the mouthpiece to get married.
Mmm.
Because it's like you got to
Go
be
ahead.
honest with yourself, right? Trying to get somebody to marry you and you got a life sentence takes a lot of work.
Word.
Because it's like what makes you so special. I got all these dudes out here on the streets, and I'm marrying you just so you can get some.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's cool. You still currently with that lady or no?
No, we separated. We been separated. When I was in prison, during my incarceration, she had ended up doing something she wasn't supposed to do. She had ended up getting a abortion. So
Oh.
that kind of tore. Yeah, that kind of tore things. Then she did it behind my back, and then they ain't tell me till about like a year later. So no, we separated.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, so if you married, you can have you basically have a wife. So
Yeah.
they give the man the right to at least. So I mean, I guess that gives you life, literally, like you're living because you at least get.
Man, look. Once I got that shit brought me all back to reality. I did not want to be in prison no more. I'm like, oh no, I don't know what I've been doing. I don't know where my mind been at, but this is not the place. Because after being in prison for a while, man, you kind of like take on that mindset, and it's like, all right, this is what it is. I got to do this time. This time I'm gonna do it. But once you get that, then it's like, oh, hold on, wait, I got to get back to this full time.
How's the medical uh how do they treat you medically? Like are they giving you
Man,
like physicals or
look,
do you have to get sick to even see a doctor?
medical, man, you got to write 1,073.62 forms. And you gonna tell them about the problem. They gonna say, "Hey, man, take some ibuprofen and drink some water."
Wow.
Then you gonna come back and tell them about this, and then you gonna end up having to write a grievance, and then you might get somewhere.
Oh, so you definitely seen people die from a sickness in there, 100%, right?
And what the craziest time? I think my craziest time in prison was COVID, where we went 18 months without seeing nobody from the outside world, and people was dying like crazy.
I was gonna ask you how was the COVID experience? It must have been chaotic, huh?
Yeah, I wrote my book in 3 months during COVID.
Damn.
Yeah, I
I
think
was
we
just trying to
all.
get everything off my mind.
Yeah, because the thing about COVID now, in retrospect, you look back, like we didn't know. We thought the world was over to a certain aspect, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did.
It
I
sure
was
felt
like,
like
it's a wrap. This shit is over.
it in prison. We was only getting called every 6 days, 15 minutes,
Showering how many times a week?
uh, 2 to 3 times.
And that's
And then you
crazy.
might not even get a shower because every 15 minutes they have to let the shower disinfect. So at them times like that, you might not even get a shower. So you might go a week without showering, but you got a sink in the cell, so you just bird bath.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got to clean up. Remember, at that time, COVID is spreading rapid.
Yeah, so
Nobody
you
know
can't-
what the hell
Yeah.
it is, so they got to disinfect everything, which is kind of crazy. Because you got that many people got to use a facility. It's got to be crazy.
It's well, it's only I think 6 showers, but in prison is racially segregated. So we only go to 3 showers, and then the Mexicans only go to 3 showers. So we can't use their showers; they can't use our showers.
The Mexicans outnumber blacks in prison, or in general,
Well,
like any prisons, Cali?
in Southern California prisons they do,
Okay.
but in Northern California prisons they don't.
And you were in both, because you said you got sent down.
Yeah, I was in both. So when I was in high desert, it was about the same. But when I went to Southern California, it was about like 4 Mexicans to every black.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's interesting. And how's the food experience? Like, what is the food in prison? Like,
Well,
what is
the food used to be cool, but now it's they got you like on a one of them fasting diets or something. Because you only getting small portions. I was just at the prison law office and spoke to them about it, but they it's like terrible. It's the worst it's ever been at this point right now.
It was like peas with a little bit of mash and a piece of chicken or something.
Man, they got you on some type of almost vegetarian diet or something.
Oh.
Then you eating it's not the real meat. What's the other meat called? The soy meat. You eating soy meat?
Oh yeah. Tofu.
A lot of a lot of processed. It's just terrible.
Wow.
Well, prisons are big business, and that's why they got a lot of us locked up, because they need somebody making a handcuff, somebody making a police uniform, the judges, the courthouse, everything, the sheets, the bed. It's probably all owned by a couple small companies.
Yeah, even the package companies where you buy your food from is owned by the correctional officers. The packages you get every 3 months, you have to go to them and get it. It's ran by their union. The correctional officer union is probably one of the most powerful unions in California.
How are some of your relationships that you built in jail? Like, are a lot of them dudes home? I'm sure a lot of them aren't, but like.
Man, I know quite a few people that have come home, but I know a lot of people that's still in there just hoping on a chance.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's deep.
And it's a lot more hoping on a chance than came home.
What's the oldest dude you seen in jail? Like, I know you probably be like, was there
Man, I
like
seen
an old man and they're like, yo, nobody mess with him, bro.
He's like 85.
Well, that's all the older people. But I think the last dude right before I left, he had been in prison for 50 years.
Damn. My whole life.
He had just recently had a heart transplant. But he told me, he said, youngster, the only reason why I'm in prison is because of myself.
Wow.
Because he ended up, killing 2 people inside of prison. So he ended up catching like 2 life sentences.
Yeah, we saw that. We did like a documentary, like this dude.
Aryan Brotherhood guys.
The Aryan Brotherhood dude. Like, he just got, like, he right about to come out and he'll just go stab somebody. So.
Yeah. Was there a lot of Aryan guys in there?
Nah, white boys ain't that. There's not that many white people.
Yeah, I always
Probably
think
like
that,
10 white people on the yard or something, man. They probably like more into the federals. I don't know where they at. I don't know. They somewhere though.
Yeah, you funny. He's like, I don't know where they at.
Yeah, right.
But hey, man, we're gonna have to. I can't give y'all all the game, man. We're gonna have to do a documentary or something, man.
No, 100%. I definitely want to do a documentary where we really lock in and like tell it all.
Yeah. Well,
nah, it's all good.
It's nice. It's nice talking with you. We give the people what they want to a certain extent, and obviously you can't give it all out. You got,
Nah. I got more interview. I got another interview to do at 3.
Hey, I see you working. That's what's up. I like it.
Yeah, man. All right, man.
Yeah,
thanks for coming to JV TV, and actually, this is our first official interview, so you're gonna have the #1 with a bullet on it.
We made history right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm always #1, man. I'm always making history.
Yes, sir.
Hey, peace and blessings, y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
God bless, y'all.
And I know how it gets, so I gotta stay low now, move my knot. I don't trust no nigga, I don't trust no man, ain't no friends, everybody get shot. You never know how nigga gon' throw him, hitting the floor with a couple of shots.